Hmm.
So, my question is, should you prioritize your relationship or your career? Time. You can't be telling just anybody that they could be your soulmate because you don't know who they're waiting for. And you
Yeah.
and you can't just force that on someone like, "Oh, you're meant to be with me. You're my soulmate." Stuff like that. Like, nah, fam, that's not how this works. Like, I wish you the best, but that's not how this works. It's it's just not. That's not how it works. But what do you think about it? Since because this is your question, I want to know what you think. Do you think people's
That's true.
soulmates still out there? What is up, youngins and lovelies? Welcome back. And when I say back, I mean literally back because it's been what 4 months since I did a little podcast episode. So with that being said, welcome to episode 6 of the Meriamarie Podcast. Now I know y'all gonna be on my neck because it's like, girl, you were supposed to have episode 6 out a long time ago. I know, I get it, my bad, I'm sorry, but your girl has been busy, and y'all gonna see that in my vlogs. But we ain't here to talk about that. We ain't here to talk about that. So, as promised to her and to y'all, if y'all remember from the last podcast episode, I did say I was gonna have a guest. So, with that being said, y'all have heard her on my channel before. Y'all heard her on my live stream, and y'all heard her on the last gameplay I uploaded. So, with that being said, let me go ahead and introduce y'all to my best friend because my ride or die for life. Let me go ahead and introduce y'all to Thina. Y'all behave and y'all be nice and be cool with her because the real ones, OGs, know that we a duo from Beautiful Soul. So let me just let her say hello. Go ahead, Thina.
Hello. Good to be back.
I know, because you've been on here for live streams and gameplays. And now, today, it's something different because you're on here for a podcast. Now, y'all, today's topic. I don't know how I feel because she knows how I feel about this topic. So, y'all gonna learn how I feel about this topic. So, today's topic for episode 6 is relationships. Now, we both have questions. We both each have questions, and we're gonna ask the questions, and we're also going to answer those questions as well. So, Thina, since you're a guest, I'm gonna let you go first, and then it's gonna go back and forth.
Okay. So, people who don't know, and the people that do, know who you are. My thing is, okay, my first question would be, does anybody relationship ever had that one or two bystanders that has a problem with your relationship? Like, say it's a friend or I don't know, cousin, something like that. Like, has anybody ever had that issue?
What one thing
Like,
I can say when it pertains to that issue, I didn't mean to cut off your question, but wait, was that the full question before I answer?
that was the full question. That was the
Okay.
full question.
So, when it comes to this question, I've seen situations like this where people have their opinions about other people's relationships. And honestly, when it comes to that situation, I think it depends. The reason why I say it depends because it could either be like when you're looking at this relationship, if the relationship is like bad, if you just know it's toxic, then I do feel like it's important to say something because I've like been in situations where I've noticed someone that I know, like a relative, and they weren't in a good relationship. And I just feel like I needed to put that bug in their ear, like, hey, I get that you really care about this person, but at the same time, I need you to understand that this relationship is not healthy for you. Now, if it's just a person just putting their opinions in the relationship just to put their opinions in, then it's like, mind your business. Because that's another thing I feel like it's also a problem. There's certain people that's just gonna put their opinions or like make comments about this relationship because they just don't want them together, period. Not because they know both of them like personally, but just because they don't want them together, period. So that's what I think.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know. Sometimes it depends, like, cause let's be for real. Some people do be wishing on downfalls when it comes to relationships and stuff like that. Sometimes I think it's jealousy, or they just don't like to see that one person happy.
Right.
But sometimes that's what it is, and then sometimes it's just them just being, well, hateful.
That is true, and I don't know what they're gonna get out of it, but hey,
Yeah.
that's just how some people are. Okay, so my first question is it better to be single or in a relationship? And there's a reason why I asked this question, but I'm gonna let you answer first.
Okay, so to be honest, sometimes I think it's better to be single due to the fact that, well, some relationships don't be all dandy and crap, and when it ends in heartbreak, you're really sitting here like, oh, well, I should have stayed single. And then sometimes staying single is better because sometimes you could be waiting for that special person, and that person will come for you when you are single. Like, it may take some time, but they're out there.
I actually agree. The reason why I even brought up this question is because I feel like some people, like nowadays, like just society in general, like nowadays, I don't know what's going on, but some people don't like to be single. They be so quick to get in a relationship, and I feel like it's important for people to realize that, like, not only is it okay to be single, it's okay to be in a relationship, but if you don't really know that person for real, like if y'all haven't like taken time to get to know each other, and I'm not just talking about like weeks or a month and then boom, y'all are together. I'm talking about
Yeah.
actually taking time to get to know them, like start a friendship and stuff like that. Start with a friendship, hang out, and if y'all want to go on dates, go on dates, and then maybe consider a relationship instead of just immediately jumping into a relationship. But not only that, another problem I have when it pertains to this is some people get in a relationship just so they can say that they're in a relationship. They don't even want to be with that person. They just want to announce that they're in a relationship, but in actuality, they have like no type of feelings or emotions towards that person, and I don't think that's fair either.
Uh-uh.
So it's definitely important to take your time and don't rush into a relationship that's not going to work out for you in the end. Like if you just jump straight into it and then once you get there it's like, what do I do?
Yeah.
So all right, next question.
Okay, my next question is trust issues.
mm.
When going into a relationship and having trust issues, why not work on it first and then see if the relationship is compatible with your trust issues? You get what I'm going with that?
Yeah, and I think I have two answers for this because one of the main reasons why it's probably not like resolved before the relationship is because they didn't even bring it up yet. Because like one thing I've noticed about some relationships, they don't mention like the past issues until they're officially in the relationship, and I think people are allowed to agree or disagree, but I feel like that should be discussed before you jump into that relationship, because that could most likely play a part in y'all's relationship. Because if y'all discuss it later that partner might throw that back in your face. So I feel like it's best to handle that before, instead of just getting in a relationship and then bringing it up at that time, because then they're going to feel like you're not over that person or you're still working on those problems. That's what I think. What do you think about it? Because I feel like you've seen some situations like that before.
Plenty of times. And not calling nobody out, not saying no names, but like sometimes talking about it while y'all are still in the talking stage and the friendship stage, it'd be better to do it that way instead of going into the relationship and just dumping it on each other and having arguments and crap about it. No, I'm not talking about a certain relationship. I'm talking about in general. So don't be coming at me respectfully. So yeah.
Okay, now this next question, I want you to really think about this, because this is a really good question, and it's also a very serious and important one. So you ready?
Mhm.
So my question is, should you prioritize your relationship or your career?
Your career.
Can you go into detail as to why?
Because your relationship will always be there, especially if your partner supports you and whatever. But your career is what's gonna keep you going in life. It's what's gonna make you like you. It's gonna get you where you're going in your life. It's gonna be the reason you have a house, a car, all that. Your relationship does not provide for that kind of stuff. Whether he works or she works and you just stay home. That's fine too, but like you have to put your career before any relationship. 'Cause at the end of the day, who can you fall back on when all you cared about in that moment was your relationship?
I see what you're saying, but I honestly think it depends. And here's why. Because yes, your career is important, but it also depends on where you are in that relationship. Like, it depends on if y'all are just like dating. Like, if it's dating, then like, okay, then maybe you could like reconsider like putting your career first. But if you're married, I think there has to be a balance, because once you're married, you do have to remember that you're in a relationship. Because if you just focus more on your career, that's going to affect your relationship, because then you're not going to be able to spend time with your partner. So I think it depends, because like both are important factors in different ways. And so while you do have your career, your relationship also plays a part as well, because you have to prioritize that. You have to make time to spend time with your partner. And then of course you have like your work schedule and stuff like that, and whenever you're free, I feel like you should take that time to yourself, but also with your relationship. So that's why, like, I get what you're saying, but at the same time I feel like you have to have a balance depending on where you are
Yeah,
in your relationship. So
that's true.
yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be worried or excited for this next question that you have. But we just gonna keep it going because we're already on our third question.
That's true. Hmm. Figure out which one I want to do though. So hold on, give me a second. Okay, my next one is in a relationship. Would y'all talk it out with them, or would you just go end it and go and talk bad about them, or not even bad about them, or go talk about it with other people? Like, basically, what I'm saying is, like, would you work it out with them, or would you just stop the conversation and go and ask for advice, even though people don't even know what is happening in the relationship?
So is it like, would you talk out like an argument, or I'm trying to
Yeah,
process.
basically.
Okay, I would talk it out instead of going to other people because like I get it, some people do ask other people for like advice, but at the same time I don't want to do that for the simple fact is because I don't know if like the advice they're giving me is really going to help me, cuz like I don't know if you're actually trying to help me or if you're trying to make it worse. So that's another reason why I would be hesitant to ask other people. And then also another thing to keep in mind is like if I go to them with my problems, then they're going to know all me and my partner's business. And I don't want that because I'm a very private person, so I don't want people all up in my business. And then if they know about it, then that's going to cause more problems. And then you also don't know if they have their own problems going on in their relationship. So that's another reason why I want to do that. And I think it's best to talk it out because, especially if the argument's not that serious, you might as well just go ahead and talk it out. But like just ending the conversation and just going on to discuss it with someone else, I don't think that's going to solve anything because if it means that much to you, talk it out with your partner.
Yeah.
Do you agree or do you want to add on? Because I feel like you can speak on that more than I can.
No, honestly, I agree with you because it's better to talk it out than just pausing the argument, going to tell whoever and to get advice. It's better to talk it out right then and there. That way, both of y'all can understand each other's side as to why they have this opinion and you have that opinion.
Hmm.
Like, I mean, yeah, okay, you can get advice, but like sometimes that advice is not gonna help you at the end of the day. No
That's
offense to anybody who asked advice from their friends.
we, we just gonna go to the next question. Okay, because this is okay. I like this because this can go into what you ask. So, should you forgive a partner who has betrayed you, or is it better to move on?
Like, what do you mean betrayed you? Like,
Like have done you wrong, like done something like you feel like you couldn't forgive, or do you think you could forgive them, or do you think it's just better to move on?
depending on the situation, there's moments where you can forgive them. Honestly, yeah. But forgetting it, knowing dang well females and males will not ever give. They will have it remembered in their head somewhere and bring it up in some kind of argument. If we're being so completely honest here. I say it's better to like talk it out and honestly try to forgive them, but don't move on because let's be real, that little monster, that green little monster, gonna use it in some kind of argument. So it's best to talk it out, forgive, and I mean, yeah, you can bring it up in moments, but don't bring it up in an argument where it's like, oh, remember you did this and that. Really? You bringing up something I did in the past? Oh, now I thought we forgave and forgot. You can
I'm
forgive, but you don't gotta forget. Like,
I like that answer. And I'm gonna be so honest, I'm conflicted because I'm too brutally honest. So I feel like it depends on what it is. It really depends on what it is that you do. Because, like, I feel like if you done something that, like, jeopardizes my trust with you,
yeah,
and if I feel like I can move past it and forgive you, then cool, I can forgive you. But at the same time, I'm still gonna be cautious. Like, I ain't gonna
yeah,
bring it up in the next argument. Like, I ain't gonna do that, but don't get me wrong, it's still gonna be embedded in my brain because it's like you jeopardize my trust with you, and I'm giving you another chance. So don't blow it because otherwise I will take that move on stage real quick. So I feel like it really depends.
Yeah.
All right, we're doing great. I'm honestly surprised with my responses because I was very skeptical of this topic, even though I suggested this topic.
Literally though.
But I had to because I was like, eventually, this was gonna have to come up eventually on one of the episodes. So why not just go ahead and get this out of the way, the sixth episode, and not later on. So
That's true. That's true.
So let's keep it going. What's the next question? We're already almost 20 minutes in.
Okay, my next question is: are there people still out there that believe in the whole soulmate thing? Like the Chinese. Oh, I don't even think it's Chinese. I don't remember what legend it is. But the red string legend. Do people still believe in that? Like your soulmate is still out there, and you might one day find them.
Hold on.
I had to throw that out in there. You know I did.
I'm laughing for several reasons. Let me just go ahead. Because when you said, do you think that people still think there's soulmates out there? There's people I know that definitely believe that. And I've had some situations where they thought I was their soulmate. And as y'all can see, that's not reality. Sorry to say it, but it's just not. Okay, so let me see. What can I say about this? I I do believe that some people do think that their soulmate is still out there. There's nothing wrong with that. But I will say there is a problem when you're in a talking stage and then it doesn't work out with that person, and then you go to the next person and tell them that they're your soulmate, and it just becomes like a pattern. That's when it starts to become a problem, because not everybody is your soulmate. You can't keep telling everybody you talk to that they're your soulmate, because that's just not the case. It's just not. It's really not. And so that's why I'm like, it's kind of like a 50-50, because like there's nothing wrong with believing that your soulmate is still out there, but at the same time, you can't be telling just anybody that they could be your soulmate, because you don't know who they're waiting for. And you can't just force that on someone, like, oh, you're meant to be with me, you're my soulmate, stuff like that. Like, nah, fam, that's not how this works. Like, I wish you the best, but that's not how this works. It's just not. That's not how it works. But what do you think about it? Because this is your question, I want to know what you think. Do you think people's soulmates still out there?
I mean, part of me still believes it. Don't get me wrong. I'm in a good place where I'm at. I'm happy. Love them all my heart. And sometimes, yes, I feel like me and them are soulmates, because, like, it would be so real. There's moments where we have like deja vu of like we've talked to each other before. I don't know if other people get this, but like, and then there's moments like where you will click with somebody and it feels like you've known them for your whole entire life. Yeah, I kind of still do believe in soulmates, and I'm sure a lot of people do too, especially when they meet that certain person and it's like, oh my god, I feel like I've known you for like so and so years. Like, yeah, I do.
Well, I'm glad you do, because I haven't gotten that far yet. So, my question is, what is the best relationship advice someone has ever given you? That was an interesting response. This don't sound like it was good advice for real.
I only say that because I mean I don't really go to people for advice, and then when they do try to give me advice, it's just not the right advice, really. To be honest, sometimes, especially when it coming from like certain people, it's like just advice that you look at, you try to understand it, we're trying to see where they're coming from with it, and then it's like I don't think we in the same boat. You to be giving that type of advice,
Well,
but
I get what you're saying, but continue.
advice that I've heard before that is actually really good is to never like depend on looks. Always go for like their personality, how they act towards you, how they take a certain situation, stuff like that. Like be sure that you know that what like their intentions are really, if catch my drift.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Well, an advice that I was given was for like when it comes to a relationship, know who you're with. Like know the real them because there's like some people like when you get into like the beginning of the relationship, like they'll seem like this really sweet, nice person, but sometimes it's a mask, and then eventually throughout the relationship you start to see who they truly are. And so it's important to be mindful of what you say to them, especially if you don't know how long that relationship is going to last, because they could use your story and what you went through against you, and that could
Yeah,
literally break you. So it's also important to be mindful of who you end up with and what you tell them.
that's true. Yeah.
My paper had flew away, but it's okay. But I got it though. So we're on our fifth question now. Okay.
Hmm. Okay, so my next question is: would y'all change that person that y'all trying to get in a relationship with? Like, would you really go to the dramatic change of yourself just to please them?
Ooh, I'm gonna let you go first because I have a lot to say about this question.
Okay, so my answer to that would be no, due to the fact that, well, if you don't like that person for themselves, then I try to be with them. I mean, yeah, you can change maybe, like, I don't know. Don't change yourself physically, but if you feel like the point where mentally you have to change yourself, like y'all have to fit like each other's mindset, basically is what I'm trying to get at. It's like to understand each other, that's fine, cool. But don't change yourself physically. Don't try to make yourself skinny. Don't dye your hair. Don't do plastic surgery. Please don't do stuff like that. If you do that to make yourself feel pretty, yourself, nobody else, yourself, that's fine. But for a guy or for a girl, don't do that. It's not worth it at the end of the day. But mentally and emotionally, sure, not too much to where you don't recognize yourself and don't feel like you are yourself or you don't love yourself. Like, please don't change at all for to please somebody. It's just not gonna end well. Trust me, it won't.
That that
I would know.
that's true. And that was also the nice version. Now let me tell y'all my version of why I say no. Cause I already had to take a sip of water. There's so many reasons why I say no. Cause I've experienced this, and I just want to say thank goodness I said no. Because we didn't end up together. Let me just go ahead and clarify that. We did not end up together. I'm thankful for that because it made me really realize that I made the right choice. It is so very important not to change who you are for anyone, because from personal experience, I've had a guy tell me that he didn't like who I was and that I needed to change who I was as a person. And it did bother me because it's like, dang, like what's wrong with me? And so over the years, I just got to thinking and thinking and thinking to the point where I was like, you're starting to lose yourself, and you're losing yourself for the wrong reasons. And so during that time period, because at one point, I admit, at one point I did lose myself, and it took me a while to like realize that I had lost myself, and then I had to work my way to like get back to myself, but like a better version of myself. And honestly, it didn't feel great at all, because it's like too many people have an opinion. And another thing I think sucks about this is like, if you're in a relationship and your partner tells you that you need to change, there's this is something that I think everybody should just keep in mind, male or female. If your partner tells you that you need to change who you are as a person, there's nothing wrong with you. They are putting their own insecurities onto you instead of themselves. Let me just go ahead and state that. And it took me a while to realize that, because when this guy told me that, it wasn't my insecurities, it was his insecurities that he was putting on to me that he couldn't deal with. And so instead, he lashed out on me and told me that I needed to change. If you have your own insecurities, that's one thing. But to project that onto another person, and then that like affects with them mentally because they feel like something's wrong with them, it's like, are you really set for a relationship? Do you know what you want? Because otherwise, you're not mentally there either, and you're not prepared for any type of relationship, and you're gonna affect that person if they are ready for a relationship. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, the answer is no. Don't do it. It's the worst thing you could ever do. Change for you. Don't change for the worse either. Change for the better. Like, cause it's just, I just like had flashbacks, because when she asked that question, I was like, I've been through this. It was the worst thing ever. And because it like would legit make me think like, okay, what's wrong with me? Why would I get told this? And then when I finally took the time to ask myself that, I was like, it wasn't me, it was him. And I'm gonna get more into depth on that situation later, because I think I have a question pertaining to that. So with that being said, let me go to the next question, because I think we talked a little bit about trust issues, but we didn't really go into depth. So I'm gonna go ahead and ask this: how do you deal with a partner who has trust issues?
Okay, I'm gonna be so real when I say this. I don't think I've ever. Okay, the recent one I'm in,
Mm-hmm.
we both have trust issues, and the way we deal with it is we talk it out. To be honest,
Okay.
if we have moments like where we don't feel like we trust each other, or like I don't trust them or they don't trust me, we sit down, we talk about it, and we reassure each other that that's not an issue, that this didn't happen or that didn't happen, or because if I'm being honest, our main trust issues really are that one might not feel like the other one loves them or accepts them sometimes. You have to sit down and explain this and why we actually do and why we feel this way. Basically, if you have trust issues and you're in a relationship, talk with your partner. Sit down with them. Don't, if you are long distance, talk on the phone. But sit down when you do it and explain to them why you feel that way. And don't make it out of an argument. I know some people do have arguments when it comes to their trust issues, and I never understood that. I don't get it because that's just gonna make it worse on your behalf and their behalf. So sit down, relax, breathe, explain why you feel that way. Make sure that they're listening to you. If they have a question, let them ask it. Don't talk over each other because again, it's only gonna make it worse.
Mm-hmm.
Sit down, explain why you feel that way, and then let them reassure you or you reassure them. Don't make it hard on yourselves because again, it's all something is always gonna lead to arguing, especially when it comes to trust issues. And then y'all are gonna have that moment where it's like, do should we really be in this relationship? And best believe sometimes talking it out works. People, it works. I'm telling you, it works. Just talk it out. Breathe. Talk it out. Even have the talk over dinner. Like have it in a place where y'all are comfortable. Please.
I haven't experienced this yet, but I have seen situations like this. I do agree that it's important to talk about it, but also sometimes when you do talk about it, it doesn't really work out depending on why they have these trust issues, because I've had like seen some situations where they did talk it out and the person that has trust issues would accuse their partner of doing things because it's something
Mm.
they've dealt with in past relationships. And this is my thing. Once you've dealt with that person from your past, they are your past. My bad, y'all, I hit the mic. I apologize. But once they are in your past, they're in your past. You shouldn't bring your past relationship in to your current relationship, because I don't feel like that's fair to your partner. Like, it's okay to like discuss like what happened and stuff like that, but to compare them to your ex and accuse them of stuff that your ex did, I don't think that's cool, because then it's like you don't really trust them and they're telling you that they haven't done this stuff, but you're accusing them of it because of someone of your past. So I think it's also important to be mindful of what you say and what you're accusing them of, because it's one thing to have trust issues, but it doesn't mean that you should let that trust issues affect your current relationship. So yeah, again, I haven't got to that stage yet, but I've been analyzing and I know what I don't want to deal with. So yeah.
Understandable. Makes plenty of sense.
All right, Dina, what you got next for us? Because I don't know how many questions you have. I know I have 12 in total.
Hey, I have less than her, y'all. Saying so. Okay, before I ask my question, I would be so real. Never thought about like asking people questions about like relationship wise due to the fact that I keep all my mm, question I'm gonna ask. It pertains to something like this. I keep half of my relationships private because to me, I feel like every time I tell somebody about it, I jinx it and it always turns out bad. So sometimes I may tell like two, three people. That's it, because I feel like I jinx it for myself and that it ends bad.
Mm-hmm.
So I keep mine private. And adding on to that, my question is: is it good to keep your relationship private or is it bad? Because some people flaunt their relationships and be like, "Oh my God, I'm with this person, I'm with that person." In my opinion, it's good to keep it private. In my opinion, so
I think it's good to keep it private. Like, it's okay to like showcase like your partner, but that's if y'all want to do that. But at the same time, I feel like it could become a problem, especially if you post them like consistently, like everything that y'all do. That can become a problem. But I think it's very important to keep your relationship private because social media can like really affect your relationship because there's going to be some people like they'll see you do a post with your significant other and then it could either be a good thing or a bad thing. Like there'll be some people like cheering and celebrating for you, and then there's gonna be some people that's gonna spread lies that's gonna break
yeah.
up that relationship. And I'm gonna just go ahead and put a PSA out there for future references. This one right here, her relationship's gonna be private. Okay, I'm talking about private. You won't know their name, you won't know their age, you won't know nothing. You better hope I pop out when I get married. Okay, y'all probably won't know anything until I'm married and have a kid. This probably when y'all gonna see me. Y'all probably gonna see me when I'm married and I have a kid. I ain't gonna say nothing about my relationship, nothing at all, unless we both come to an agreement and we feel like, okay, we can share this. So that way, because like, you don't really have to post your relationship 24/7. Like, you could like do at least one or like however many posts you want, just not like back to back and back to back. Because I don't feel, because everybody don't need to know everything. Like, it's okay to
Yeah.
post it to like let it be known like, hey, I am with somebody, but that doesn't mean I need y'all's input on what I got going on. Cause yeah, no, y'all gon' mind y'all business. That's what y'all gonna do. Cause my relationship gonna be private. I've had that established since I was a child. Ain't nobody gonna have their input in. Ain't nobody gonna say what they gotta say. Cause it's gonna be denied. Don't ask no questions. Don't confirm anything for me. Don't assume anything for me. If you didn't hear it out my mouth, if you ain't hear it out their mouth, well, you can't hear it out their mouth because I ain't confirming yet for you to hear it out their mouth. Like, I just feel like some people just need to learn how to mind their business. Like, but I don't know. I just prefer private more. Like, I salute those that do post their relationships, but at the same time, I do sympathize with them because when they do post it, they can like one person and then they just feel like, oh, this person's not good for you. You could do better, and it's like, how you know what's good for me? How you know I could do better? Like, let's be for real. Like, do you know them? Did you grow up with them? Y'all buddy, y'all relatives, y'all cousins, y'all's brothers, like y'all third cousins, like what's the situation? Like, I don't like when people do that because I'm like, if you don't know this person outside of the internet, you shouldn't have your input in at all. Like, mind your business. Oh, child. But like I said though, my relationship gonna be private. But let's move on though. Before I get out of character, because I mean business about a private relationship. I'm forever gonna mean that. So, this question is gonna cause some issues probably in the comments. But the question is, should couples merge their finances or keep them separate?
Oh.
See what I'm saying?
Oh, see, I don't have a problem. Okay. How about this? Y'all can't come after me because this is my opinion, respectfully. So, my thing is, But this, keep your separates. Also have one where y'all both put something in there. 'Cause in all honesty, you can use that merge one for your kids. And you have your separate ones. Use your separate ones for yourself. Like, you get what I mean? Use that merge one for rainy day, as people say. Or if you can't use it for a rainy day, use it for your children. 'Cause let's be real. How you gonna take your how you gonna put your kids through college? Use that what's supposed to be a rainy day. If it's not a rainy day, use it for your children. And then you have your own money that you can spend yourself. Every time you get paid, both of y'all put as much as y'all agree on in that shared bank account. Nobody touch it in case of an emergency. You get what I'm going?
I get what you're saying. Like, there's no, like, I don't see no problem with having both. And again, you can also have one for your kids, especially to like pay their college and stuff like that. I also hope they're applying for scholarships as well, too, depending on where they're going, because some of these colleges are expensive. I would know.
And this.
I'm at an expensive one, but that's not the point. I think, yeah, I wouldn't mind doing both, because especially like, there's nothing wrong with merging an account, but if something were to happen to that account, I think we definitely do need like a backup plan. So having like separate ones for a backup plan in case something happens to the one we have together is important. But I also think that the finances also plays a part in how long this relationship gonna be. Cause I refuse to be in a relationship and we merge accounts and then we're no longer together. I'm not about to go back and forth about who gets to keep what. That's what I'm not going to do. If we're not going to be together for this long, and you know in your heart we're not going to be together for this long, we ain't merging nothing. Okay, you got what you got, I got what I got. If we gonna be together till death do us part, then cool, let's merge some accounts. But if we ain't together till death do us part, do your death to whatever on your time, and I'll do it by myself too, because we ain't merging nothing unless we gonna be together till death do us part. We ain't doing till death do us part separately if we ain't gonna be meant to be. It's just how it is. Because I refuse. You gonna take my money. Absolutely not. Hold on, before we jump to the next question, because I think yeah, it's gonna be your turn for the next question. Before we get into the next question, let me say one more thing about finances, because I've noticed this. I've noticed some people do this. Do not, and I say this with so much no care in the world, I brutally mean this with all honesty. It comes from my heart and soul and spirit when I say this. Do not, and I truly mean it, do not give a person money before y'all get together. Do not give them a whole lot of money before y'all even get together. Especially if y'all are still in the talking stage. If money initially pops up in the conversation, the relationship most likely is going to be based on money. And definitely another thing, like I said before, if y'all are not going to be together forever, do not move in together, because then that's also gonna play a part in your finances as well. Because especially if your name is on the lease, their name is on the lease, then y'all break up, then y'all are having a debate on who gets to keep the place. That's gonna be a big financial problem. Do not do that, y'all. Do not do that, especially if you're still young. Because let's be real, because some people are like do this at a very young age. I don't know how y'all do it. I don't know how y'all do it. I can't handle it. I refuse to have gray hairs before I'm in my 60s or 70s. I just refuse. We ain't even there yet. I refuse to have gray hairs at a young age. I just can't do it. I don't want the stress. I don't need the stress. If there's like several signs that it is not meant to be, and you know finances is gonna play a big part, just keep your money separate. Unless you're going out to eat or something, or going out on a date, then that's when you can compromise. But other than that, keep that separate. Keep it separate. That's all I gotta say about that. I'm gonna just let Thena go ahead and ask her next question because
Which question are we on?
we're on 7.
Hey. Oh, okay. The people who in a relationship, in who out of, I don't know y'all business. I don't want to know. If y'all ever broken up or divorced or whatever, how long would you wait to get into a next relationship? Would you go right into one, or would you wait a couple years, or some of y'all months?
Child, I wait for after a talking stage. After a breakup or divorce, y'all better hope I find interest again, because I just okay, because this is my thing, because it also depends on how the breakup ends.
True.
So it depends on how the breakup or divorce ends, and it also depends on if we have a family, like if there's like kids involved. That's another important factor, because some people don't want to be with a person that has kids. And so I feel like that can also play a part in if you want to get into another relationship and how that works out. But I'm not the type of person that would immediately get into a relationship. No, I need time to process and I need time to heal. I refuse. I don't want to see a person anytime soon, unless I'm going to the store and I'm getting checked out. Other than that, I'm not trying to. No, that's another thing. I think that's very unhealthy to jump into a relationship immediately, because it's like you didn't take any time to heal or get over your ex. You're just immediately jumping into a next relationship, and I don't think that's healthy. But what do you think about it, though?
I agree with you, especially like with the whole kids part. Like, you gotta think, what if like your child has a problem with the fact that you jumped into a relationship so quick and they don't like the person you're with? And then sometimes you gotta put your kids first before you put your relationship first, respectfully. 'Cause at the end of the day, it's still your child. You still gotta consider their feelings, how they feel and crap. And then, honestly, getting into a relationship so quick, no. Because you're not healed. And then, whatever hurt you feeling, you're gonna put that into the relationship that you got into after you got hurt. Not worth it. It's not worth it at all.
It also sounds very depressing. I'm just like,
Yeah.
but all right. Next question. I have no answer for this question, so I'll let you answer.
Dang.
Oh, I don't. I'm gonna be so real with y'all, because normally I would say in the beginning, because I'm in my ick phase when it pertains to relationships. I'm doing this topic for y'all, okay? I'm doing this topic for y'all. I still have the ick right now, but This question, you see how I'm trying to be so positive and still remain positive? I'm doing a great job, y'all. Yeah.
Oh my
But,
god.
because on the inside, it's just, ugh. But this question says, what does true love mean to you?
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where I will be drawing a blank. Because when I say this, but mine were booty holes. So I don't even know what true love is just yet. I'll get back to you and maybe like when I'm married.
Well, for me, it don't mean nothing right now. I'm gonna be honest. It just don't mean nothing to me right now, and I have my reasons. Like don't get me wrong. I be like giving people the benefit of the doubt. I be trying. Lord knows I be trying, but it's just like it's like that. It's like a bug that just bothers you. It's just like it keeps popping up, and then you try to get it, and then it runs away, and it comes back and bothers you again. So, let me see how I can be positive about this because I'm really trying, y'all. I'm really trying. Honestly, you know what? I could give y'all something nice for this answer. I can. I could do it. I could do it. So, when it comes to true love, I would say, well, it don't really mean nothing to me right now, but for some people that have experienced true love, it could be where you found the person that you know you can trust, can tell them anything, spend time with them, they make you happy, joy, all that good stuff. And you don't have to worry about any problems or anybody interfering in your relationship. And you just know that there's no one else you would rather be with. I guess that's what you can consider true love. Again, I ain't get there yet. I'm in the phase, like the love factor shut down for me, y'all. It's been a hectic situation. I wish them nothing but the best, but we gonna move on. Cause if you know, you know. We gonna move on. All right, Tina, what's your next question? We're on question number 8. Let me just go ahead and tell you.
Mm,
She gotta think about
okay.
this one.
Yeah, I do though. Okay, but okay. So this is for anybody.
Oh, I thought you said this was about to
Just
be
for the
for
ladies.
me. I,
No,
I was about
this
to
could be for
say.
anybody. It don't gotta be just for the ladies. But would you still, even if y'all passed the honeymoon phase and all that, would you still like to receive gifts from your significant other? Even if it's not every day or just the littlest things like flowers or one flower or I don't know anything, candy.
Hmm.
What's that, right?
Okay.
I
Oh,
know y'all heard that.
okay. Hmm. 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 Okay. I don't see nothing wrong with it. I don't. I don't see nothing wrong with it at all. And getting gifts is fine. But also, I agree with the part where it's like it could just be like the littlest things and it doesn't have to be like back to back cuz like it could cuz like
Yeah.
some people like save it for special occasions And then like if because depending on where you work, if you haven't seen each other for like a couple weeks and stuff, or like a month, and depending like if your job requires traveling and stuff like that, it's okay to like send gifts and stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't see no problem with it. I don't at all. That's all I'm gonna say about it too. But I don't see no
Low key was
problem
waiting.
with it.
Y'all, I was low key waiting for a but. Y'all know she do stuff like that. She'd be like, she'll explain it, then she'd be like, but, and I'm just thinking
Oh,
like,
I
okay.
actually do have a butt, but like
See?
I don't know if I want to say it.
Nah, tell the people.
There's there's no problem with gifts, but
Hmm.
it could become a problem if the gift is questionable. And the reason why I say questionable is because some people will like make you kind of worried with certain gifts because you know like cause what is it, it's like a calendar that like keeps track of like how long y'all been together and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Like I'm okay with like celebrating, but like if I see a gift that not only just says like how long, like the month we've been together, like that's fine. But if I see like the seconds, hours, minutes, all that together, I'm gonna be
Hmm.
like, okay, like I get it. Like this is an important relationship, but like seconds, minutes,
Oh,
who
child.
who keeping track of that? I can barely keep track of the hours that go on throughout the day because 1 minute is 10 a.m. Then next thing you know it's 5 p.m. Just like that. I'm not doing all that. But then, but then another thing. Also, the reason why I say there's a but is because some people have different perspectives when it pertains to gifts in a relationship. Like some people don't want flowers,
Yeah.
and some people don't care about jewelry, and I feel like that could play a factor, especially if that person gifts them that. So I think it's important to talk about like what y'all like, because some people don't want to do too much when it comes to gifts. Now that's gonna be the last thing I say, because yeah. So okay, my question is, how do you balance personal growth with a committed relationship?
This could be more towards y'all because I'm gonna be so real. I'm still working on my personal growth.
Okay.
Slowly, but surely, I promise.
Okay, so I can answer this for everyone. Let me just give a little advice. So, the best way I think would be to handle personal growth in a committed relationship is while you're dedicated to that committed relationship, I think you should also be dedicated to the relationship with yourself. And the reason why I say that is like some people lose themselves in a relationship. Like they put everything before themselves in a relationship. They'll put their partner, they'll if they have kids, they'll put the kids before them. They always put themselves last. And like it's okay to like think about others in your relationship, but at the same time I think it's important to always have time for yourself and figure out what you need and how you're doing, because you can lose yourself in the process. So be mindful, like whether it's like a minute or 2 minutes, take that time to yourself to just breathe, have some alone time. Because at the end of the day, like cool, like kudos, cool. Your partner, you love them. Love that. But at the same time, you gotta love yourself. You gotta think about yourself as well. You got to do things for yourself. You got to make sure your health is good, whether it's mental or physical health. You gotta make sure you're happy. Like, yeah, it's cool for them to be happy too. Yeah, kudos to them. Shout out to them. Shout out to your significant others. Love that for them again. But you also have to be happy yourself and have love for yourself as well, because that's very important in relationships, in my opinion. So take that advice how you want. Do as you please.
You're it.
All right, question number 9. What you got for us, Tina?
I'll
Cause
be so real with y'all. This is my last one because that's all I could think of.
oh, this is your last question. I still got a few more,
Yep.
so it's fine.
Okay, so my last question is, when it comes to like y'all's relationship and also it's y'all friendships, because this is leaning towards that too.
Mhm.
If your friends have a problem with like your partner and stuff, would you leave your partner, or like would you end your friendship? I've seen that happen so many times before, where
Mm.
like, like the person was in a relationship and their friends had a problem with them, so they left their friends and just stayed with the partner, not really considering their friends' feelings and stuff. So
Well, okay, this is what I'm gonna say. It. Let me find a peaceful route to go with this, cause when it comes to your partner and your friends, those are two different relationships. If your friends don't like your partner, I feel like you gotta, because part of you is gonna question it regardless, because there's like obvious a reason. Like if they're saying like, oh, your partner's not a good person, or they're known for cheating, or you can't trust them and stuff like that, like that's definitely gonna stick to a person's mind. And so that would low-key, like, I don't know, I feel like some people wouldn't just immediately break up with their partner because their friends don't like them. But like if you're getting like warning signs, like, okay, that's gonna make you side eye your friend a little bit, but also be observant, because you gotta see things for yourself. Like you can tell a person that, but like if they haven't seen any signs of that yet, you gotta let them see for themselves. Because like you can tell them and tell them and tell them, and they'll be like, okay, cool, but you still see them with that person. That's because they're trying to see for themselves. If they haven't seen anything you're talking about, that's gonna be a problem. Then they're gonna have a problem with you, because it's like, okay, you're playing with my relationship.
yeah,
And now if it comes to the partner not liking the friend, there's like, again, it depends on why they don't like each other. Because again, like I don't know what conversations they've had to not like each other. And some friends be saying things about the partner because not it, most of the time it don't be because they don't like them, it's because they want them. And it's just like, okay, you lost your mind. That's what you did. You lost your mind because you're not gonna get with them. So I don't know. I don't know what I would do, honestly. I would just try to figure everything out, because I'm very observant. So I got to see both sides, because there's two sides to like each story. And so I got to see what everybody talking about. And then that's going to dictate what I do at the end.
yeah.
What would you do?
To be honest, I would probably observe it too, only due to the fact that we'll figure out why they have a problem with each other, and why one person see this and why one person see that. Like you said, people have different, like they would do be observing and they be seeing stuff that you don't see. So
Oh, I just thought about something that just triggered me because someone has done this before. If you know, Christina definitely knows, because she's gonna know when I say this. I cannot stand when a person says they don't like someone's partner because they don't like fit the like description of what their type is. Just because they don't fit the description of your type and they got nothing to do with you, they're that person's type. So just because they don't fit like your little description of how you see how you want your partner to be doesn't mean you gotta criticize who that person's with.
Yep.
I don't like when people do that because it's like we ain't dating twins. We's not dating twins. It's a whole different person.
And not everybody gonna like your type.
Facts.
We got different types for a reason, people.
And I feel like people need to understand that, which is why we about to go to my next question, because this is something that really needs to be discussed. It really do. So my next question is, what do you think is the biggest challenge couples face today? You know this.
Calls and then up and leaving. If you catch my drift. I can't say what I want to say because this is YouTube and I ain't got time to be like going after it. Yeah.
Wait, repeat your answer.
I said when people randomly up and want to do booty calls and then just leave and don't take responsibility when they leave a tiny little package and they don't want to take responsibility for the people that actually want to be in relationships that ruin the chance for everybody else.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought you would have said a totally different answer, but since you didn't say it, I will say it because we all know I am forever the brutally honest person. I'm gonna say what I gotta say. I think the biggest challenges some couples face today is when they ask another couple how their relationship is and they compare it.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we comparing relationships? I don't think relationships should be compared because your relationship is your relationship and that person's relationship is their relationship. The relationships are not going to be the same. Only thing that's going to be the same is if y'all are in love. Like both couples are in love. That's the only thing that's going to be in common. That's the only thing that better be in common. But like I think that's like a big problem. Like if you're in a relationship and you're going through something, you should not ask another person that's in a relationship like why they're not going through this or why they're not experiencing this. Cause if they're not going through that, don't wish that on them.
Yeah.
Cause that's no. If I'm happy, let me stay happy. If we not arguing, let's keep it that way. Cause I don't want to argue. I don't want to argue because they're gonna be on 10 trying to argue with me, and then that's gonna cause me to go to 2 million.
Not 2 million. Hold up.
I'm the worst person to argue with because like when people want to start arguing, first of all, I'm very silent. If you say something out of pocket, not only am I gonna sit there and listen, but I'm gonna wait till you're done and then I'm gonna tell you about yourself. And you could take it or leave it. But definitely comparing relationships, that is a problem. And I be seeing that a lot. Or no, this is another thing, because I don't even know how this became a trend. or why it's a trend. But I wonder if it's still like a little challenge where a person will ask someone are they happy in the relationship or if they trust their partner, and then they will have that person's friend call their partner to see if they would cheat on them with the
I
friend.
think the person who started that, I think the person who started that, I think his channel got taken down.
Why is that even a thing? And then that just makes it like even
Worse.
worse, because not only that, because like there's been some situations, I will say there has been some cases where it worked out for the best because you find out that like that partner was actually cheating,
Yeah.
but at the same time it's even worse when you find out that your friend was actually trying to get with your partner.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, do you have any other comments about challenges that couples face?
Nope.
All right, so this leads me to my next question because again, I had the most questions. So, this question, it says, how do you prioritize mental health in your daily life? This one's not really a relationship question, but you could
Yeah.
put that in a relationship mindset if you want.
I'm being completely honest with y'all. I cry. I just let it all out by crying.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Like some people love to like let out their emotions, so I can understand.
Mm-hmm.
But I now I'm curious. Do you do that on a daily basis? Like, is that daily?
Now I don't do it on a daily basis. The only time I really do it is like when it's like really weighing on my shoulders and I feel like mentally drained.
Okay.
So when it's like get too bad and I feel mentally drained, I just cry it all out, let it go, let all the emotions go that I was feeling, and let it flow and take a nap afterwards.
Okay. Let's see. How do I prioritize my mental health? One thing I did a lot. It's a trait that I got from my mama. So one thing that I would do, well, I ended up doing as I got older, I would start writing, basically journaling, like what goes on in my life, so I can see where I'm at, and also that lets me look back at like previous like notes that I wrote down and stuff, because I put the days and the years so I can remember when it happened, and so I can see
Mm-hmm.
how I was at that time, and I can also see if I've improved from then. So that's one thing I do. And then I also like to like have time to myself. If I can get like a good 5 or 10 minutes to myself, I will do that. And if I can, I will take a walk. Like I went on a walk today. I was like, I got time to myself. I'm gonna take a walk, have my peace, and go on by my day. So little things like that is very important. Just like even if it's like just taking a walk or just sitting there in silence, reading,
Yeah.
journaling, just doing whatever you can to like be okay.
Understandable.
Alright, the next question. the next
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
the next question. How do you define happiness and have you found it?
Yes, I found it a long time ago.
Okay, I was like, you kind of hesitant.
Yeah, because I was sitting here like, how should I word this without sounding retarded? But yeah, no, I found my happiness a while back, even before relationships. 'Cause in my honest opinion, my happiness comes from the people around me, which will mainly be you and Mia, and sometimes the tall one when she's in a mood, when she's not in the mood. But yeah, 'cause my happiness became like my friends and the people that like I surround myself with. don't come out of relationships and stuff like that. No offense to anybody that does have happiness from relationships. Cool for y'all. Happy for y'all. Different. Yeah.
I would have to say that I found it before, but I also have lost it before.
Yeah.
And, and then I ended up finding it again. And so, because of those who don't know or don't remember, after, because we're adults now, after we graduated high school, I ended up on my spiritual journey because there was a lot going on in that time period of my life before the week of our graduation. And so after we graduated, I need to go away. I need time to myself and figure out what I want, because I just was not happy. I was literally just sad. Like, each day I just got more sad, and I'm like, dang. I was like, I can't remember the last time I was happy, and that actually sucks to say, but that's how it was. And I didn't tell
Yeah.
nobody that, but that's how I felt. Like, even like our graduation night, I still wasn't happy. Like, that's supposed to be like the happiest day of your life, and I wasn't really happy. Like, soon as we left, like, cause before I even met up with Dina to like go to dinner, cause she had invited me to go to dinner with her. Like, before I even left to do that, I legit got home and I just straight up cried, cause I was just sad. Like, I just was not happy. I just was just sad. Like, even though, like, the only happiest moments I would say from that night was when we went to the dinner, and before that when we took pictures with our friends, and when I walked to get my diploma. Those were the only happy moments from those days. When I took the pictures with my friends and family, and then before that, of course, walked to get like my diploma and stuff, and then went to dinner. Those were the only few happy moments. Other than that, I was just sad. And it just took me forever to be happy. And as I sit back and think about it now, from that year into the previous years, I would say I wasn't really as happy as I normally would have been. And that lasted for like either 3 to 4 years, if I actually think about it. Like 3 to 4 years. 5, actually. Hold on, let me do my calculations. No, 3. 3. Yeah, 3. It was 3 good years. From the previous years all the way till we graduated, it was 3 years of sadness and me trying to get past it, and I couldn't do that. But I can say I found it again. I'm not letting it go. It's stuck with me. It's locked up.
That's good.
And I refuse to let anybody interfere with that. So, once you get your happiness, keep your happiness. Focus on your happiness. Stay happy. Don't focus on the negative. Negativity is just disgusting. It just is. And with that being said, let me get to my last question. I don't know what she's gonna say, but,
Oh God.
but I'm gonna ask it. And then after this, we could just come up with any questions that we didn't come up with before that we could ask each other. So, this question that I have for you, it's, what's one thing you know about me that others would be surprised to learn?
Y'all, I'll be so real when I say this. She attracts guys, and sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. But like, Then, if you don't know, and you don't know us personally, you do, you would know that her nickname is the Heartbreaker. It's all the hearts she has broken without even actually for real trying, though. Like, I'm gonna be so real when I say this. It's sometimes entertaining to me because, like, it'd be like so random. One day, she randomly texts and be like, "You would never guess what happened, girl. What? A dude texted me, and I had to friend zone him. I'm sitting here like, oh, there goes another one. Like,
Okay, let me just go ahead like interrupt this because okay, first of all, I didn't ask for the name Heartbreaker. Someone came up with it was a teacher that came up with that actually when we were in high school. It was the audacity. And because he was like, I was gonna be a heartbreaker, and I'm like, this is my thing. I don't even try to be one. Like it's not my intentions. Like again, I'm a very honest person. If I feel like I don't think it's gonna work out, or if I have no interest in you at all, I'm just gonna tell you straight up because one, I'm not the type of person to lead anyone on, and another thing, I'm definitely not about to pretend my feelings for anyone. I'm just not gonna do that. And so yeah, and that's what I did. Like yeah, a lot of them have gotten friend zoned, and like it. I don't mean to be disrespectful about it, but it's like if I just see you as a friend, then that's what it is. I just see you as a friend. Like, sorry to say it, but that's just how it is. But there has been some situations where they would get friend zoned, and it just like some like don't get me wrong, some were okay with it, and then there's the other ones that just were not okay with it. It was like a
get
war.
all in their
It was like a
feelings.
war zone. It was like they could not let it go. And let me just go ahead and clarify, and let me just go ahead and say what I got to say because I'm gonna say it, and I meant it, and I approved of it. Okay, so if you get friend zone, it is okay. Okay, it is okay to get friend zone, but do not pressure that person to be with you. I have had a situation where I've told a person that I see them as a friend and that we could be really good friends. And they was like, yeah, maybe it's right for us to be friends at this moment. Like, first of all, if you're saying we gonna just be friends at this moment, that means this friendship gonna be over. Because that's what I was thinking. But no, they were still thinking that we was gonna get together. And if a person is showing you that they have no interest in you romantically, leave it at that. Like at least they giving you courtesy of being their friend. Okay? Like it's not that hard to accept. And then another thing I don't think is right is once you get friend zone, you don't have the right to be disrespectful and call out other people because you were friend zone. Like just because you were friend zoned by one person doesn't mean you gotta take that out on everybody else, because then that's gonna blow your chances of getting with someone because you feel like, oh, because these like certain people kept rejecting me, let me just go ahead and say this to get their attention. Like, oh, since they keep rejecting me, they're quick to get with someone that's just gonna end up breaking their heart and stuff like that. Like that's not cool. Like it's not cool at all. And that's another thing, if you get your heart broken, don't post about it. Do not post about it. And if you're gonna post about it, just speak on your personal experience. Don't call out everybody else, because what if they didn't want their business out there? How about that? What if they didn't want their business out there? Like, you dealing with your hurt is one thing, but don't lash out on everybody else. Don't tell them like, oh, you just want this type of person, you just want to do this, You just want to do that and stuff like that. They didn't ask for you to put their business out there, and better yet, they didn't ask for you to assume what they want. How about that? They didn't ask for you to assume what they want. Because I've been seeing this. I've been keeping quiet about it for a long time. And Thena knows this, because most of the time I don't be knowing what be going on, because I just be tapping through. I don't be caring. I just go on by my day, because I don't want that type of energy around me. Like, once it's done, it's done. I go on by my day. Only time I post on social media is like just to give like a little quick update, or if it's something pertaining to what I'm doing or business wise. Other than that, I don't post. I go on by my day. Or I'll like post like people that I'm close with. I'll post them to like showcase, like, hey, look at my friend, they look good today, and stuff like that. Other than that, I don't post. And the only thing that I posted that was like directly at someone was when someone was pretending to be me, and I told them they better take that account down, or they had two options. I was generous. I gave them another option. I was like, you could take it down, or you can get locked up for defamation of character. That's what my two options were. I'm that type of person. You could either take it down or get locked up. But other than that, no. And then here's another situation. Cause I legit did not ask to be called a heartbreaker. I still don't think I'm one. I think I'm just, people just think that I'm not gonna like tell how I really feel. They think I'm a sugarcoat it, and I'm not the type of person to sugarcoat it, because I don't even sugarcoat things when it pertains to Thena, and she knows that I don't sugarcoat anything. And so there was another situation where I did friend zone them, and let me go ahead and explain why. I friend zoned them because I had my suspicions of them. Like, I tried, Lord knows I tried, because they was like, do you want to like, because I remember I talked about it to Thena, because she was like, just see what would happen. And I was like, okay. I was like, I'm gonna still observe this though, because I was like, something just ain't sitting right with me, because I don't just talk to anybody. And so I was observing till it got to a point where I was like, they're already getting attached, and I was like, I'm not attached. And so I was like, this is going to hurt them. I already know. So I was like, but I gotta do it, because I was like, I literally felt nothing. Like, y'all, I felt nothing. I was empty. Like, I felt absolutely nothing. I was just emotionless. Like, no strings attached at all. Like, his strings were attached. My strings were just cut, because I felt nothing. And so, of course, I told him, because, you know, I had to tell him. And he was like, I can laugh about it now, but at that time, I was pissed off, because I went off afterwards, and I'm gonna get to why. And so of course he was hurt, emphasis on hurt. And so I was like, my intentions wasn't to hurt you and whatever. And then he was like, he feels like there was like a hole in his heart or chest or whatever he had said. And then, y'all, the next few minutes he came back and he was like, I'm over it. You're not the first. When I saw that, when I tell you any like regrets or like sympathy I have for him, when I tell you that went out the window so quick, when I tell you I didn't feel sympathy at all anymore, because I was like, okay. I was like, my suspicions. I was like, okay. I was like, cool. He over it. I'm not the first. Kudos. And that just didn't sit right with me, because I'm like, the way you just got over it that quick, I was like, I don't like nothing about this. And so eventually I just left the conversation alone. And then this is when I lost it. This was the same day. He texted later, like a few hours later, talking about how was your day? Y'all, when I saw that text, I lost it. Because I was like, ain't no way you gonna come back and ask me how my day was. Like, is you crazy? And they gonna ask me how my day was. How you think my day was? I went from feeling bad, and then you do that. And then not only that, this is another thing I be talking about that pertains to posting. Certain things you post, like, do y'all not realize that we can still see it unless you restrict us from seeing your story? Because I still saw the story. And I remember I sent it to Thina. Let me see if I can go back, because it was like, for Instagram people, it was a reel. So let me see if I can find it. The one of the Instagram reels that was posted, it said, when she rejects me, but I got a whole loyal loving girlfriend at home. Let me tell you something. I don't care who takes this personally. Let me tell y'all something. If you in a relationship, stay in that relationship. Do not come over to the next person that is minding their business, their single business at that. And then you talking about how you interested in them, and the whole time you got another person. Have several seats. If you think it's cute, it's not. If you thought it was gonna be cute, it's not. This is the problem nowadays. Some people are so quick to find a person, a good person at that, and then they feel like that's not enough. And then they're like, okay, let me expand. Let me expand my roster. Let me get more options. Let me see who gonna be the next person. Like, oh, I still got this person at home. Yeah, still got this person, but let me expand my options. And then another thing, the lying. I do not not N-O-T, not with a passion. I cannot, I will not, I shall not, I will never like a liar. Because that's one of my main things. I don't like a liar. I don't like being lied to. I don't like being lied on. I don't like you lying about anything to me or towards me. You tell me a lie, done. Just complete, done, over it. Don't like it. Because I'm not even going to give this person the spotlight. Just not. I'm not giving any of them the spotlight at that. But I just feel like they have some growing to do. And I felt like me rejecting them was for the better, because I feel like they needed the realization, like, not everybody's gonna just get with you just like that. Okay, I don't know why they thought it was gonna be me. I'm not that type of person. I'm not gonna be interested in you just off one conversation. I'm just not that kind of girl. I'm sorry. I'm just not. I'm not that kind of person. I gotta get to know you. I'm not gonna be interested in you after one conversation. Because if you think I'm that person, you might as well exit right back out the door. Because I'm just not that girl. I'm just not. Like, hate to say it, but I'm just not. So but yeah, unfortunately, y'all, I have the title called Heartbreaker. I would just like to say, I'm not a heartbreaker. If anything, some of the ones that I didn't discuss were the actual heartbreakers, because they like to use people. And I was one of those people that were used, but we ain't gonna give them the spotlight at all, period. I still, because I'm not a heartless person, I still wish everybody the best, Like, I forgave, but this is another thing. This is another thing. I'ma end this question off with, and then I'm gonna just move on. I do not like when a person apologizes and they don't mean it, cause you can keep that apology. You could have just kept it. You could have just put it in a bottle and thrown it away. Cause do not apologize to me if you are not sincere and you're not gonna meet it. Cause how you gonna apologize and then still do the same thing? Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense at all. But yeah, like I said, I'm the brutally honest friend, and y'all just learned a few things about me. So yeah. All right, with that being said, that's all the questions I had written down. Thina, do you have any questions you want to ask me personally?
Nope.
Okay, cool. Cool. Well, with that being said, I have no more questions. This is honestly one of the longest podcast episodes that's going to be out. So I hope y'all enjoy, because this is almost half an hour. Yeah, we've been talking for an hour and 40 minutes.
It's crazy.
It's not crazy. She lying, y'all. she lying so hard, because this is how we talk on a daily basis. We talk this long.
It's very true. Shoot, it be longer than that. Let's be for real.
That's why I said this is us on a daily basis. But this time we had a topic to share with everybody. Y'all don't know how hard it was for me to get through this topic. I can finally breathe now. Cause like my lungs feel such relief now. Like I can breathe now. So with that being said, this is gonna be the end of episode 6 of the Meriamarie Podcast. I don't know when the next episode's gonna be, y'all, because I'm a busy person. I've always been a busy person. I will forever be a busy person. But if y'all don't see a next podcast episode, you will most likely see another gameplay or a vlog, because I do have a vlog that I need to upload. And it's like a recap of like the weeks leading up to my birthday. So it's kind of like, it's still kind of like a birthday vlog, even though it's November now. But hey, I post what I want to post. So I will see you guys next time. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay positive. Have a great day. Don't let the negativity affect you. Thina, is there anything you want to say in the outro before I finish the full outro?
Peace out.
Like what she said, peace out. So I wish y'all nothing but the best. Stay blessed, and I will see ya next time, because you know I forever love you and more. Mwah. Delta.